Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today I have a special guest with us, Prakhar, and we would be discussing about Hacktoberfest, which is the recent buzz these days. So, Prakhar, firstly, welcome to the channel, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, Sarthak. So I'm Prakhar, a student developer. I define myself as like a student plus like developer, and I basically learn and make projects using web development. And I've been into open source for like an year, so like I do consider myself as a beginner, but a little bit experienced. So yeah, that's enough for me. I love building projects and solving problems like doing real world things. I'm also a community manager at Virtual Tech School, so I organize events, try to help people in tech. So that's basically my whole job.
Awesome to hear that, Prakhar. Welcome to the channel. And
Glad to
how
be
did
here.
you first get involved with Hacktoberfest?
Yeah, so because last year I started with my tech journey, like seriously, and then I got to know about open source from Kunal and Eddie, if you know about them. Kunal Kushwaha and Eddie are like Eddie is like a great person for if you want to get into open source. So I got to know about this open source things. Earlier I didn't knew much like if this is something really interesting. But then I explored that okay, there are softwares that are that whose code is just open out there and people contribute to it, and collaboration is something going on. And I love collaboration, like teamwork and all. So I just explored that field, and then like this, and when I was exploring, it was like I think September, and this Hacktoberfest was just like the next month. So I got to know about this Hacktoberfest, and then I thought let's like try out and just start my open source journey with it. So it was a kind of a good kickstart for my open source journey. So I just tried to find some projects. I only knew HTML, CSS, no, not even JavaScript, and I luckily found some issues to work on some projects, and I tried to work them like and tried to make that project better with this mindset, and then I contributed to it. So and it was actually a great experience. I learned GitHub and all, and talking with other developers and contributing to the other projects and making them better. It was a great experience. So this is how I started with open source, and basically Hacktoberfest was my start. So
Awesome. You mentioned an amazing point that you only knew HTML and CSS and were able to participate in Hacktoberfest. So basically, it's both for experienced people and for beginners as well. So the next question I'd like to ask is how can we participate in Hacktoberfest?
yeah, so well, Hacktoberfest is basically like as its name suggests, the hack means to. I mean, in technical terms, hacking means doing something, making something, or just trying to experimenting with stuff. And like this is a festival, kind of open source festival in the month of October, and it's not really a very a competition time kind of thing that you need to give an entrance exam or something. It's just that you need to find some good open source projects. There's their official website. Go to like hacktoberfest.com, and they have really good resources. They're having really good guides how to participate, how to contribute, and you need to find projects that are like where you can contribute. You need to find those issues, and once you like get those issue assigned to you, you need to work on them and try to solve them, and just make some PRs. If somebody doesn't know, like PR basically is like you make some changes and try to push them to their repository, just requesting them to pull your changes to the original repository. And this is how it works. So if they accept your PR, like if they accept your changes, your contribution, then you are like then you have made a contribution, then that is an accepted PR, and that counts as a like if that project is participating in Hacktoberfest and is following guidelines, then it's a Hacktoberfest contribution. And I think you need to make 4 PRs like that, and so that will be like your whole Hacktoberfest, like you'll be done with it, and it needs to be done under a month. yeah, during the month of October. So this is the basic uh, steps that you need to do.
Awesome. And would you say, are there any mistakes which beginners make while first contributing to open source or participating in Hacktoberfest?
Yeah, of course. Like, because as a beginner, we are always lost. So it depends on from which, um, like from where you are coming from. Because as far as I know, I've seen that a lot of people get into open source with the mindset of getting some job, or like you basically you have a mindset of getting something. If I'm doing it, I need to I need to get some reward. So people get into this mindset of like you need to, you're getting some reward, you're doing this for something, because you will be benefited from it. Of course you will be benefited from it, open source, but it's not like it's not a selfish thing, it's not something that you should focus on, like making money or getting a job or something. Open source is about collaboration, like as Adi says, and it's a really good thing to actually learn, and it's a very important skill in development and in your whole tech career. So this is one of the first mistake that beginners make, is that their mindset is not correct. Like they should focus on adding value to projects first, like making the project better, actually like focusing on good contribution, focusing on good communication, like explaining their issue if they are raising an issue, explaining their PR if they are like making a PR, what the changes have they done, and trying to be collaborative. And collaboration doesn't just mean that doing something together, it means that understanding others, respecting their time. Like if somebody else is assigned, you need not to post a message that please assign this to me, because it's already assigned. Or you don't need to fight among on these things, because this is not a competition. This is not something like you if something else gets something and you can't get it. So try to be like having an open mindset and understanding mindset, and try to be collaborative. So I think this is the basic mindset shift that needs to be there in a beginner.
So I totally agree with you. And uh, the point where you said that collaboration is extremely important. Well, what I have noticed is that collaboration is much better than competition, because if you're working in a team, then your rate of growth exceeds the rate of growth of you working as an individual. So that's also what I noticed. And another thing I wanted to say, that don't hesitate to ask for help, because members of the tech community are extremely helpful in that respect, and they are always ready to help you and guide you in your tech journey. So beginners have difficulty in learning Git and GitHub when they first start out. So what would be your advice to them?
Okay, so GitHub is like the one of the basic technologies that you need to know. So GitHub is not actually a technology. Like GitHub is just a place where you host files, and it supports Git and all. Like there's other platforms too, like Bitbucket and GitLab and all. But because GitHub is like mostly used, so we just try to make these say these names together. So Git is like basically a version control system. And so the question was like how should beginners approach, or what mistakes they learn, what mistakes should they avoid, how should they approach the I think
Yeah,
GitHub learning, right?
basically learning Git and GitHub initially was a little bit tough for me. So
Hmm.
I was able to learn it by sheer hard work and basically putting in a lot of effort. But there are some mistakes which could be avoided in the start. So that's what I was referring to, that what are some mistakes they might be making, and what can they do to learn Git and GitHub faster.
Oh yeah, that's actually comes from experience. I too experience it in the starting, and I think the mistake we do is we try to treat Git as just another thing to learn. So we try to watch a video, and then we try to just imitate it and do stuff. because but Git is like it's like a tool. You need to use it like in real world, and then only you can like after implementing it you can like start learning. So going through hardships is actually good, because then you only learn what how it works. And when you actually build projects and try to implement the version control thing in your project, trying to maintain the version, and when you get into issues, weird kind of issues there are, like branch and stuff, then you need to study what are those things. You need not to know everything about how Git works, how everything works. You just first of all get a basic idea, like how to set up your user account in like in Git in your offline PC, and after that how to make basic branch things and branch changes, and how to push change, how what is commit message, and all that, just the basic stuff, and then you start doing it. And when you face issues, like what kind of merge is this, what is like I don't I'm not sure, like stash and weird kind of stuff comes up in the errors, so then you just Google it and try to learn about it, and then deep dive in all of these concepts, how it is working, basically by learn by doing. And so this is what we like which as a beginner one should do, is to start implementing it. First of all get the basics right, just the basic things, and then start implementing it in your real projects. And with the go, like on the go, when you are making projects you came across errors, then you start like learning those extra topics. You don't need to know everything in the starting, and of course we'll face uh, many problems, so we need to deal with it and learn.
Awesome. Like these are some fantastic points which the beginners should be taking notes of and like implementing them while participating in Hacktoberfest. So another question which some beginners might have is that where can they find further information about Hacktoberfest?
Oh yeah, like I think their website has been considerably improved. The last year they were not having many things that would have confused a beginner, but I have like visited their website right today, and I can see that they have included pretty much everything that a beginner needs to know. Like you don't need to go to any third party source or any other YouTube video now. You just open hacktoberfest.com, and there are like various sections how to contribute. Uh, Everything is like even resources is given, how to make PR, how not to do something, so they have included everything. So yeah, like to just know about Hacktoberfest, go to their website. And if you want to know more, like you can attend there are many Twitter spaces that are going on right now. You can find people on Twitter, or you can join some tech communities where these kind of sessions and events happen. So you can do that also.
Awesome. And another question, the last question I would like to ask is, do you have any final thoughts or messages for our listeners regarding Hacktoberfest and open source contribution in general?
A message. So like I always advocate this mindset thing, because this is actually what plays a major role while doing anything in open source or contributing your bit. So when you are contributing, don't try to like think of things like will I get something in return. You need to have this mindset of like selflessness and trying to add value to other projects, become a better person overall, because this is a very important skill if you want to grow long term, because short term games are like not worth it, and you need to build your own character. And this whole open source is a lot about a character development and how you are in tech industry in general, and this makes your image. So if you're a good person in open source, you are trying to add value, you are communicating really well, you are understanding others, and so gradually you will become such a kind of person who will be like loved and liked by a lot of people. And this will eventually like it's a byproduct, like money and connections and opportunities are a byproduct of being a good person overall and trying to help others, trying to contribute in open source. So this is what I think, like you should focus on becoming a better person, a better developer, a good communicator, and having a good mindset overall.
Awesome. You added a lot of value in this podcast, Prakhar. So I would like to ask that where can the audience find you? Uh, what are your socials and anything you would like to tell them about?
Yeah, so like finding me is really easy. I mean, if you get one social account of me, you can get like all the others because I'm having the same username everywhere. So luckily, like because Prakhar Tiwari 0, this is like my Twitter handle at the rate Prakhar Tiwari 0, and it's like on LinkedIn, on GitHub, on everywhere. So yeah, you can find me through this username, or if you want, like you can. I have a good like a website of mine, but it's actually not good, so don't visit it. Like heyprakhar.xyz, this is the website, but I would recommend using going to my social accounts if you want to find me and connect with me.
Definitely do check out Prakhar's profile. It's really impressive, and I bet you would get to learn a lot from following him. So that's all I wanted to cover today. And thank you very much for joining us, Prakhar, today. And
And do follow Sarthak too. Is actually doing a great work. I've seen him in many events, and he's trying to he's starting this initiative. I don't know if this podcast will go out or not. It's just experiment, but like I think you're doing a great job. Like you're starting new things. So good luck with your with this journey, and to follow Sarthak too.
yeah, thank you very much, Prakhar. And we'll geek out further on Twitter as well. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
We will do.
Thank you very much.
Glad to be here. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Bye.